What are the 5 questions that you need to ask when you are going to a home inspection for your next purchase here in Northern Virginia? Hi, I'm Carey from the Carey Collective. I'm your Vienna VA specialist and relocation queen, helping families move in and out of Northern Virginia with ease. And today, I wanted to jump on and share with you what 5 questions that I recommend to my buyers that they ask the home inspectors when you have a home inspection, or maybe you just get a walk and talk. Well, let's talk first. What in the world is a walk and talk? So, a walk and talk is something I tell clients that they should consider when a house hits the market and the agent is expecting multiple offers. The reason we do this in advance of putting in an offer is to decide whether or not you're willing to waive a home inspection and move forward with an offer on this house. And I know that sounds crazy, but it really is normal and it is common here. And so instead of thinking this is crazy, I will absolutely never do it, I would reframe it and ask yourself, okay, if I am going to consider waiving a home inspection, should I get a walk and talk before or a pre-inspection? And what are the questions that I need to come in prepared to ask so that I walk away feeling like I have a full picture of this home and what I can expect when my offer is accepted? So let's talk about number 1. First of all, when it's a walk and talk, it is 1 hour usually. That's about the most that a listing agent gives you. It's 1 hour. And my recommendation is to hold your cell phone out, open it on the notes app, and just start to type, 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 type. Follow them around. Don't ask questions until it's over. I kid a little bit, but if something comes up, definitely ask a clarifying question. But if you really want to make the most of that inspector's time, don't ask questions until the end. And if you're in a regular home inspection, which can be multiple hours because they're getting into everything, yeah, you have more time to ask these questions in the moment. But many inspectors want you to wait until the end where they're going to give you a summary and then give you time to ask any questions that you need. So what is the first question that I tell clients to ask their home inspectors, whether it's a pre-inspection or after a full home inspection? Here it is. You ready? What here that you found is a safety issue and what is a maintenance issue? Why in the world am I looking for these 2 things? Well, the reason this matters is because sometimes families will live in a home forever, literally 30 plus years. It's not as common anymore, but sometimes families will live in the home for 30 plus years. And frankly, they haven't maintained it, or maybe the HVAC was never serviced. The vents have never been clean. There are little things that can just be a maintenance issue that are kind of like, okay, we can take care of that. They're not super expensive, but we need to be prepared for that when we come into the home. Or there are things that are safety issues. So maybe if the foundation is shifted or there was a water intrusion, is there mold? There are certain things that you want to make sure you understand. Again, nothing has to be a deal breaker. Anything for that is completely up to you. It's your choice on what you're willing to go forward with and what you're not. However, the 2 differences may give you something to decide if you have the opportunity to negotiate. I usually tell people to focus on the safety issues. If it's a maintenance issue and it's not been taken care of at all, what is the cost of that? Is that something you're willing to take on? Or is this just something over time that you are going to experience and you're going to know, okay, I am going to make a plan for how I'm going to maintain this home moving forward once we come in? Or do I need to do anything before I move in, right? So safety versus maintenance. That's number 1. Number 2 is how old are the major systems? I'm talking HVAC, water heater. I also tell people look at the roof. Have an idea. The inspector can't always give you the exact date of the roof, but they're going to give you a ballpark. Hey, it looks like it's in good condition. It looks like it's 30 or 50 year shingles. Like you probably are okay and you're going to be all right for a while. So those are the things just to know, again, to prepare. If a water heater is 30 years old, 2 things. 1, the ones made back in the olden days, I swear they last forever. I don't know what has happened that our lifespan of systems has decreased as we've increased and findings. I don't even know how to say that, right? It's like as we get better at developing things, their lifespan has gotten shorter. But back in the olden days, I swear to you, I see washer and dryers from the 80s and those things are still kicking. So can't always judge a book by a cover, but of course we use standard timelines for certain systems. And so you just want to understand, what is the cost that's coming into this? What do I need to prepare for? Do I need to be ready or saving to replace my water heater, to replace an HVAC? Because the water heater is not terribly expensive, but an HVAC can be tens of thousands of dollars. We'll say 10 to 13. Don't freak out. Just giving you a ballpark number. But you might need to plan for that, or you might need to save for that, or you're getting a home warranty or something. Again, it's all about knowledge. So safety versus maintenance, how old is everything? And then number three, we're on number three, is what about the electrical system? Is this electrical system common for homes built at this time? Or is this an outlier? I need to replace it. Do I need to increase the electrical capacity? Those things can come up often. We'll see a lot of old electrical systems and they still work. They're up to code for when they were built. But again, it's in preparation. Do you want to replace it? Are you looking to do an electric charger? You might need to make sure that you have enough space in that electrical system to put that in, or prepare once again, maybe to upgrade it completely, add more space, maybe because you want to add recessed lighting in the house. It's just information. So what is the electrical system? Is it super old? Is it common at the time frame of the house in this area, in this neighborhood? Or is this a DIY project that looks like a fire hazard and I absolutely want to run away? Totally up to you. Number 4, this is a harder one, but to spot all the time, but good question to ask is, are there any signs of past water intrusions? In Northern Virginia, it is a buyer beware state. So what that means is it is up to the buyer to do their due diligence when purchasing a home. A seller's obligation is to disclose any material defects wrong with the house. So if at some point there was a water intrusion, but then the homeowner did an entire waterproofing of the basement and completely took care of everything, usually those come with lifetime warranties as well. They should have that information for you, but they maybe don't share that. I don't know. But that is where you can ask the inspector, do you see anything? Sometimes I get clients that get worried about the number of sump pumps that are actually in a basement as well. But that's not necessarily a sign of water intrusion. When homes were built, depending on the grading of the exterior and how water flows, they actually put sump pumps in multiple places, even up to 3 or 4, depending on the size of the house, to make sure that the water flows out, and it would go in the way to not let water come into the home. So don't automatically freak out if you see a bunch of sump pumps in the basement. Ask questions. Why are they here? What do you think the water flow is? Do you think that it's ever happened? And is there any sign whatsoever of water intrusion? Is there any sign? Again, I like to look at the walls. Sometimes if you can see the insulation, you want to just see if there's any growth on them. Again, not a deal breaker. It doesn't have to be a deal breaker if you don't want it to be. It is fixable. Mold is fixable. Water proofing is fixable, but there can be spots also in Northern Virginia where water intrusion is common. In Alexandria, there's a lot of areas that were built on heavy clay soil, and the shifting of that can cause different shifting in the house too. So it's really important you understand what spots you're buying in. Is water intrusion common here? Is the clay? Am I living on clay? And what's going to happen to my house? Just again, information is key. And then number 5, the last question that I always encourage buyers to ask, especially if they've never owned a home, ask the inspector, if this were your house, what would you tackle first? What are the priorities in maintenance? What are the priorities in fixing things? What would you do? Is there anything that I can kind of hold off with? And just get the understanding of what home ownership looks like and what the timeline is that you need to set for yourself after you close on the home in order to take care of things. So windows age, actually, that's another thing too that not everybody talks about. It's like looking at the age of the windows, because you might want to create a plan to replace those windows, because it can change your electrical bills depending on the energy it takes to heat the house. So Those are the top 5 questions that I tell my clients to always ask the home inspector at the end of the home inspection, is just so they have a better understanding of what it is you're purchasing. Ask the questions, the ages, you want to know what's safety, what's maintenance, what to tackle first, what in the world do I need to absolutely take care of before I move in this house because it is dangerous. Like, I don't know, smoke detectors should be there. Carbon monoxide, make sure those are in there. There's just little things that you can understand what to do when you move into a home, and then the lifetime of owning it, what maintenance you're going to do annually, biannually. It's so important to understand that and find an inspector that's willing to answer your questions, not just at the home inspection, but even past. So if you're looking for an inspector, let me know. I'm happy to put you in contact with someone if you need one. If you are looking to buy or sell in Northern Virginia, please send me a text, 513-284-5396. You can shoot me an email, Cassie@thecareycollective.com. You can find me on Instagram at Cassie Carey. You can comment below here. Anything that you need, make sure that you reach out and you let my team help you buy and sell here in Northern Virginia.